What's up, everybody? We're going to be getting going here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get these retweets out. Enter that competition by retweeting this post over on Twitter at Kelly Kellam or at Academy BitLab. This is going live here in just a moment. We got some very important things we got to talk about today because this, I do believe, and I could be wrong, but I do believe that we are in the middle of one of the final bear traps. I do think that this is an excellent buying opportunity at these levels, depending on what your strategy is, especially if you're looking towards what's happening over the next few months. I would say through summer of next year. We got to make sure that we are positioned. So let's take advantage of the opportunity while it's presenting itself. If you're ready to get this going, we're going to be doing it here in about 2 minutes. Let's get some music playing. Let's get the vibe going. Let's get the people in the room. Let's talk about what's going on in this market because everybody, it's about to get so damn exciting. Are you excited? If you're watching live right now on YouTube in the live chat, I want to see what you're grateful for. I want to see the last coin that you bought. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish outfits. It's not our fault. Blame the coal. It's the political cowards when it comes to gas. Our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We're hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pumping.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
quality.
nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Prepared for this.
Are you not ready for this market to break out? Are you bored? Are you frustrated? This market's about to get going. We're getting a buy opportunity. If you're ready to go, throw a 1 in chat. Let's do it. Oh my God, crypto is crashing into opportunity zones that we have outlined for a couple weeks. So what are we worried about? If you're frustrated right now, it's okay, but be frustrated and use it as a signal because we're seeing price action. We laid this out when this price action started to roll over. I talked about the zone right here and we sat a little bit above it. Oh, it was going to bounce from here, right? Well, we didn't get into our zone. And I have been nailing it with the zones here for price action over the last 2 years. Not 100% of every call we've made here has been right on the money, but it's a pretty damn high ratio. Shout out to Falco getting that gift train started right here at the beginning. 5 gifted BitLab memberships. Big love to you, my friend, and welcome to all the new members. But looking at this level with the price action coming into the zone, looking like it may flush it out. Well, it's okay because we have a map on the chart, and it is this level right here that we have mapped out, showing that this is that next zone on a price action level. So let's go ahead and look at what it looks like on the liquidation zone, AKA where the money is likely going to be. Look, we're sitting right above this next little liquidity zone that's directly below us. However, at the same time, we see that we got a lot of liquidity that's piling up above us. Great. That means we have a very strong magnet above us, but we have this, what's closer? Where's the magnet closer? Now, this does look stronger. And for those of you that don't know what this means, as the price action is getting weaker here, the bulls are failing to push up. This strengthens the resolve of the bears, and the bears are taking leveraged short positions, meaning they're betting short on an exponent. They're betting, let's say, $1,000 on 10x leverage or $100,000 on 3x leverage or $1,500 on 50, whatever it is, all these things pile up into these zones where there's liquidity above us. And the brighter it is, the larger amount of money is essentially pooled in the chart that will be liquidated if the price action goes up into those zones. AKA, those shorts have to flip into buys. That's what a liquidation is. To cover that short, then you have to buy to close that position. Now, this does look a lot like a much stronger magnet. However, look at the distance. This is a weaker magnet. However, we are sitting right on top of it, suggesting, although this is much brighter, that this is where we will likely flush into, flushing down into 60. Let's actually refresh this. We've already flushed down a little bit into this. Look at this. I refreshed this 10 minutes ago. So we've got all this to clear all the way down into 65.3 and a little bit more down in here. What does this look like on the 12-hour chart? Oh, man, we see directly below us. Yes, we've got this hot zone up here. So maybe we get a relief rally into this. So pay attention. If we do get a relief rally into this, this will likely set up a lot of stacking of more liquidity below us. But we're seeing signs and signals, more likely than not, that we are in the middle of a bear trap right now, because you cannot ignore the massive amount of bullishness that's in the charts right now. And because of that, that's why we're getting all of this liquidity chop out, trying to move that capital out of your wallets into somebody else that has a better plan. So welcome to the stream today, everybody. My name is Kellam, director of BitLab Academy. We're not only a YouTube channel, we also have a full education suite over at bitlabacademy.com. In fact, you can go to this link right now because it is still available. Where is the page I'm looking for? It is still available. If you head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal, there's a link right below, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Gives you access to our incredible Discord with so many different top traders in there, sharing charts, sharing breakdowns, chart requests. We do member streams. We do so much. But then, of course, if you want more than the Discord, you can upgrade and also get access to the indicators as well as the 120 lessons that we have in there. Everything from a full on-chain data analysis courses where it's broken down chart by chart. I think there's 20 different lessons in there of technical analysis, psychology of trading, tokenomics, TA, candles, candle patterns. There's so much in there. Take advantage of this before this deal goes away, because it is 15 days free for the Discord and then another 33% off. If you want to upgrade and get the courses as well as the indicators, then you also still get another 30-something% off. Best deal you're going to get. And that's not 15 days free for the courses and the indicators as well. I just wanted to let you know, but let's dive in because we got a lot to talk about today. Let me take that off the screen. We got a lot to talk about today because this is making people so worried because we're having a little bit of a movement to the downside. But this is right in line. Look, this was a line that it bounced off, which was support, rejection, rejection, support. Had a little bit of support here, and we're kind of slicing through this. I do think there's two different levels we're watching. Directly below us, 65.5, which is at bottom of that liquidity range that we talked about. And if we do lose that, which we very well may, then I think we will be getting a pretty strong support in this 64, basically 64.4 region on the chart. But when we look to what's going on, oh my God, look, it's a daily, it's over. No, all of these, this is showing you opportunities in the market. This is just the top 100, okay? Now, ApeCoin just had a massive pump up, getting a little bit of a sell-off. So if you saw ApeCoin running and you jumped in because it was running, that's the wrong strategy. That's, hey, let me buy a God candle only to have it reverse. No, if you see something pumping, that means there's a lot going on in that project and the narrative basically just kind of broke free. You wait for this opportunity here where you're getting minus 14%. Y'all see Arrow down. Y'all see Ondo down. ENA, Athena down 5%. Tau down 4.5%. We're seeing opportunities in the charts, but we're also still seeing Jupiter up. We're also still seeing Mu. I don't even know what Mu is. Must be a meme coin up. But large in part, we're seeing mostly down right now. Now, we have a major impact in the markets this afternoon, which is the Tesla earning report. And that's going to be, they take up a major percentage of that magnificent seven, as well as just the general market itself. It's a great indicator of what's going on. If they miss earnings, if they're under what the projections are, even if they're above earnings but below an estimate, there's so much going on here. I do think there's a little bit of, all right, let's see what's going on with risk in the market. And then we can see where the market's going to be going through the rest of the week. And we still have that question about what's happening in that big date in November. We're coming very close to that date, and I've got some incredible charts to go over with you today. So stick around. It's a little bit shorter today because that DC show ran a little long. But before we get into it, you know what you need to do. We do have a giveaway that happens every week. And we're doing the drawings on Monday now. So I just want to shout out, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, head over to my Twitter. Head over. Give me a follow at Kelly Kellam. We're just broke past 30,000, almost 30,500 here. And also make sure you follow at Academy BitLab. But right here, hit that retweet, hit that like button. I will post it in the live chat here on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, you have no excuse. Show some love. Get the word out there where people can come find unbiased, based, meaningful tools, resources, content, and community. Make sure you hit that retweet, hit that like button. If you're watching here on YouTube, again, hit all those buttons and make sure right below the video, you can see, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn notifications on and you will get notified when we're doing member streams. Even if you're not a member, every once in a while I post it in there. It's right here on the posts. Sometimes you guys don't check this, but if your notifications are on, you get that sort of secret sauce to come and join in the different member streams. We got a couple more happening this week, and I'm going to do one this weekend as well. This is for YouTube members, BitLab members, and Signals Lab members. So make sure you're participating because we're sharing a lot of that alpha. We did break below $2.3 trillion. It's over, guys. We are going to be laughing when we look at the market cap in a year. We're going to be like, it was what? The crypto market cap was, we were frustrated at 2.3 trillion. It broke below. We're going to be looking at 4 trillion, 5 trillion, maybe even 7 trillion. Could even be this cycle. But I do know in the long run, we're going to be seeing much higher numbers on many of these assets. This is why we diversify our portfolio, because some aren't going to make it. Some are going to absolutely blow our minds. And this is one of the reasons why we've been talking about this for the better part of 2 years now. We're coming up on 2 years for the BitLab YouTube family here. I think that's at the end of January. And we're right up there, about 57,000 community members. And I just want to say how much I love and appreciate each and every one of you. We've had some road bumps. We've had some issues. But all in all, we've been bringing you incredible detail and analysis and training and signals here in this market. So shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to Tater. I hope you're feeling better. Big love to you. Now, continuing on with what we want to talk about today, let's get into it because this is what's going on. Everybody's worried about what Michael Saylor said. You have to understand the context of where he's coming from. 2 years ago, Michael Saylor was sued by Washington, D.C.'s Attorney General for tax fraud. And in the filed complaint, they cited a podcast clip as evidence where Saylor referenced losing Bitcoin in a boating accident. Now, we all know that metaphor is just a complete analogy on what's going on with markets. And so it's just something to think about when everybody's wondering why he's talking so much about, custodians and, basically inching towards that. In addition to the fact that he has flipped MicroStrategy from being a software company, but to being a Bitcoin bank is their goal. So of course he's going to be touting the need for trust of custodians because that's his ultimate goal. And then also within doing all this and all these conversations, he's also said that he's going to leave his wealth directly to the Bitcoin community. So I do think people need to step off this. I cannot believe even Vitalik Buterin, what he said is nonsense. Well, understand where he's coming from and understand that he is bringing Bitcoin to the masses. He was doing it before ETFs. In fact, he was a sort of proxy ETF because if you buy MicroStrategy, you're getting exposure to Bitcoin. That's their entire focus for MicroStrategy as a business now. So let's all just be aware of where he's coming from and why he's talking about the way he's doing. He's still going to be buying. He's still, yes, he's going to be moving towards helping give custody to people, but this is an important factor when you consider why he said what he said. So moving on, looking here, general picture of why the market seemed to be giving so many mixed signals. Right here, Kobesi letter says bonds are falling like the Fed is raising rates. You look at the historical trends of when bonds fall, when they go up, it indicates also basically the forward-looking sentiment of what they think the Fed's going to do. And right now, it's showing historically, this would indicate that they think that the Fed may be raising rates. On the flip side, you see gold is rising like the Fed is aggressively going to be cutting rates. Completely different dispositions there. And oil prices are falling like we're entering a recession. But stocks are rising like the bull market has just started. Home prices are rising like inflation is rebounding. But mortgage rates are rising like the economy is strong. Did the Fed break the market? Everything, we're in such a different paradigm right now. Understand this. We're in such a different paradigm right now, large in part for what we saw on COVID 2020. The markets crashed globally. It wasn't just Bitcoin. It wasn't crypto. It was the markets as a whole because the world economy shut down. And immediately after that, we saw the most money printing that we've seen in the history of the world, leading to this massive inflation that we're seeing. And now they tell you inflation is only 2%, but that's 2% from that already 25 to 30% increases on everything that we're seeing. And so what we're seeing now is a different paradigm for how we can look at markets with so many conflicting signals. So you got to make sure you have a good lens on this market, because the best opportunities of our life are right now. And there's a lot of mixed signals out there. So if you want to make sure you can stay ahead of these trends, make sure you're following and subscribing to BitLab Academy, because that's what we're doing here, is making sure that you can stay on the right side of this opportunity. Now, moving back into what we want to talk about here, continuing on. Boom. What am I talking about? Exit the broken system. It's getting to be quite late to do so. This multi-generational opportunity won't wait for you. What the hell am I talking about? The Congressional Budget Office is predicting the national debt will reach $153 trillion by 2054. $153 trillion. You're telling me that you don't think there's going to be some inflation if we have debt at $153 trillion? Do you understand how much money is going to need to be printed to service this debt? The time is right now. The opportunity here is Bitcoin, gold, silver. Yes, it's not just Bitcoin. We can't live in a bubble, but Bitcoin is the best asset in the history of the world. And so if you do want to participate in these opportunities, you also have to understand the timeline that's involved. If you are trading every single different pump and drop, and if you're trading every single pump and dump, then you're probably going to be chopping yourself out as well. Make sure you have some long-term investments here. Set aside a trading portfolio. In fact, that is why we have that free traders group here. If you go directly below our video that's on right here, it's also on that this right here. If you go down to the first comment, join our free traders group. Join us there. We are printing money in there. It's not just me. There's about 5 or 6 different pro traders in there sharing every signal, entry, stop loss. We've got the $2,000 to $10,000 challenge still going on in there right now. Make sure you sign it up. All you have to do is sign up for CoinW and you get access to that. We got the the free education platform that's attached to this. It's going to be rolling out, I think, next week. We've been filming content for that. You get access to it just by signing up for CoinW. The link is right here. If you're watching on YouTube, it is directly below the video right here. It is just click more. It is join our free traders group. Join there. And then, of course, make sure you're protecting yourself with NordVPN. You can go to nordvpn.com/BitLab right here. It'll take you to this page right here. Make sure it says this information. nordvpn.com/BitLab. Sign up. You get 4 months free because we're going to be making so much money. There's going to be a lot of people targeting you to take that money from you. So make sure you're protecting yourself. So getting back into the juice for today. What else do we got? We got to make sure we engage with everything we take value from. That's what we all need to be better at. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, hit that like button. If you hadn't hit subscribe, I don't know what you're doing. But 153 trillion on essentially on the horizon. Guys, what are you doing if you're not taking your investment seriously? It's the only way to stay ahead of what's about to come. Just in, Standard Chartered says RWA, real world asset tokenization market, will 50x in value to 30 trillion. Time to buy RWA tokens? Well, we know we've been talking about this. Ondo, Avalanche, Chainlink, number one in all of this. Swarm Finance, or Swarm Markets, I should say. Florence Finance. Guys, checks. There's so many different coins out there, and it's important, I think. This is not financial advice. I think it's important to have a diversified portfolio and look forward to what's coming and make sure you have some relative allocations in your portfolio that make you feel safe, that gets you some exposure to this narrative. If it's going to 50x in value, not every token will. Some will fail. Some will do beyond this. But this is why you got to get exposure to these. And shout out to Zach Humphreys. We had him. If you did not watch that interview yet, that discussion, we posted it on Sunday this last week. So make sure you go and watch that. Now, continuing on, we got to show some love, right, to something that we're paying attention to. Bitcoin network fundamentals turn positive. But I thought we were dumping. Oh, my God, we're dumping. Okay, well, then what the hell are we talking about here? Coming back over here. The fundamentals are turning positive. Bitcoin's network fundamentals are exhibiting patterns similar to those observed during previous bullish periods. Even if a correction or consolidation phase occurs in the near future, there is a strong likelihood of a positive trend emerging. Look at the bigger picture. Don't get so focused on, but I just longed and I got liquidated. Well, one, you're making mistakes. You should not be liquidated ever. That means you're not using stop losses. That's one of the things we talk about in that free traders group. But the fundamentals are looking great. Hash rate, all-time high. The strength of this network, Bitcoin network. One of the things that you can weigh the value of Bitcoin on is how strong is the underlying computer network that basically supports it. Well, the hash rate, aka the number of Bitcoin miners competing to mine blocks, aka the strongest the network has ever been. And we're not at an all-time high. Do you see the divergence here? The divergence is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin as a network is stronger than it's ever been, and yet we're not at all-time highs. This is showing a forward-looking preview of what's to come. Even if we get a dip now, down to 64, down to 62, down to 58 even. This is forecasting the strength that is to come. So everybody, we got 431 of you in watching right now, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here on a daily basis. I hope that you take some knowledge, some empowerment, some positivity from these streams we do on a daily basis. It's my only goal to lift you up in knowledge, to lift you up in spirit, to lift you up in gratitude, to give you the courage you need to make decisions for yourself, to listen to me, disregard some of what I say if it doesn't fit, but you listen to a variety of different people. And I got more on that here in just a second, but the fundamentals are looking strong. Hash rate up, Bitcoin difficulty up. This is, okay, also tied to the hash rate, the number of Bitcoin miners that are turned on and competing. Active addresses, massive move to the upside. And Bitcoin fees, we're getting that massive move to the upside. We want fees because it also helps profitability of miners. So moving on here, did we hit our like button? Okay, there we go. Now, I shared this yesterday, but just a reminder, this is a chart that I posted yesterday, and it shows Bitcoin price is exactly where it should be compared to the last two cycles. Measured, these are compared, measured from both, these are 3 cycles here. And it's measured from their actual bottom to where we're at right now. And look at this. This is zoomed in. We are literally absolutely at the median of these last 2 cycles, right in the middle, smack dab where we should be. If you measure from the cycle bottoms on all 3 of these and where we're at in price action. And some people are saying, why aren't we pushing up yet? Come on. We are exactly where we should be, which is right at the start of that next swing to the upside. So let's be a little more patient. Even if we dipped a couple $1,000s here, you see we'd still be within this trend. Take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. Preach, Brother Kelly, says Papa Papa Guth. Yeah. Shout out to each and every one of you. Now, moving on from here, I'll hit that like button on myself. Boom. Because that's a good freaking chart. Now, next chart. What do we got? Fear and Greed Index reaches its highest level of greed since July, hitting 72. Oh my God, why are we pulling back? Because everybody was way, way, way too bullish. What happens when people are way too bullish? They open interest on leverage long positions. And if everybody's bullish, the market cannot sustain that. It will literally make a huge number of crypto exchanges insolvent. You cannot service the payments to people if everybody's betting leverage long. So we just hit sort of record fear since July. And this is also at a time where we saw the price action losing momentum into the zone. We have the rounding top here. We talk about this in BitLab Academy. Of course, that's on that link right there to my left, but you're right looking here. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Get in on the action because we talk about not only price action, but on-chain metrics, but fear and greed. There's so much in there. But this was telegraphing we were going to be breaking down. We broke down. Was there any other signals? Look at that. The BitLab trading stack, also what you can get at that link right over there on the left. This was telling you also the price action, the underlying data, everything was suggesting this was going to have a trend shift, AKA this was up. This is like, boom, what do we get? We got that move to the downside. Also, this coincided right when price action lost. Look at this. Double top right here. High volume candle, which is why this candle is teal. We had the yellow candle, which is stopping volume. We got the trend shift right there, and the price action, boom, loses a weekly VWAP signal right here. And at the same time, we're seeing price action from here to here higher while we're getting a little bit of divergence, very small amount of divergence here on the RSI. And this is just telling you, man, this is telling you this is trying to come down. We have the target. For those of you that were watching here, for those of you that are in the Signals Lab Telegram, you knew that there were shorting opportunities in here. Or remember, if you're not actively trading the small time frames and you're just position trading, a short, when I say shorts or longs in these small ranges, that's for people that are actually scalp trading and very small time frame swing trading. If you're positioning yourself for profits next year, then anything that comes down below this is a buy opportunity if you have that conviction for next year. Now, this is not financial advice. This is strategy advice. So continuing on, what else we got? Fear and greed hit. Look at this. Each time this hits this high, down. Each time it hits this high, down. Each time it hits this high, down. The signals were there, baby. We just got to read the signals, not the price that excites us or makes us fearful. Look to the data. The data is giving you the map. Now, what else we got? Where are we at? And I did a short this morning. We'll make sure you watch that if you didn't. I included several charts. This is 2017. Look, bottom. Okay, we got that. We had the sideways right here. This was below previous all-time highs, so things did get a little heated here. But we also had a huge amount of inflation since 2017 to now. So, of course, price is higher, and that was that over-exuberance from all that Bitcoin spot ETF speculation, little sell-off, but then actual follow-through when we got that approval and money was flowing into the ETFs. And then, but either way, regardless of if we are higher than we were in previous cycles, we're getting that sideways chop in a descending broadening wedge, which we talk about in BitLab Academy, in the BitLab Academy lessons there. Descending broadening wedges are bullish formations. Why? Because this is showing a somewhat consolidation accumulation to the downside that the bears cannot sustain. And you get that, you tend like a 70-80% hit rate break to the upside. So we see sideways and a more bullish pattern than we saw here. People are worried right here. Even if we went to the bottom of this range, I still wouldn't be worried. So this is suggesting up next. What else we got? Okay, let's look at these. This is from Quentin, our boy. We had him on last Friday. I'm trying to bring you guys, not just myself, but all kind of different analysts, top analysts in the market. So you get not just my view, but the broader market view of different people as well. Let's look at 2013. Let's look at 2017. Let's look at 2020. Let's look at where we're at right now. Okay, boom. This is the same as this. This is the same as this. This is the same as, and what do we get after that? plus 9,000%, plus 2,800. So this is a 90x. This is a 28x. This is about a 6x, a little over a 6x. And now on this move, we've had about a 7x already on this move. But I do think we're going to get another huge explosion from here very, very shortly. It's just about patience. And then, of course, we see from Washigora, Titan of crypto, we can see pullbacks in an uptrend are completely normal. In fact, we want them because it builds structure on the way up. We do not want just God candles. That's going to wreck so many people. We will get those towards the end of the cycle. We'll get some intermediary, but even within those, we're going to get pullbacks, right? It builds structure. You see this? Structure, structure, structure. And so what this did, this move right here gave on this push up, the pullback came to this previous high. That structure. Push up, pullback came to this previous high. Push up, back, push up, came back to this previous high. We want structure. It's a stairway to heaven. That's what we're looking for. So on this, what are we seeing? Price action, we want structure, but also we want the RSI to break out to give us that move. We want the RSI break down, but we want to break out to give us that confidence on the support here to break out. Okay, trend down, break out right as we bounced on this 50 simple moving average. 50-week simple moving average. Got to build the steps if you want to see the next floor. Right there is where it is. New world disorder. You know what it is? It's a new world reorder is what's happening right now. And if you're participating in this crypto market, you're going to be seeing so many great opportunities expand. The question is, are you able to endure what's happening now? So considering this, okay, let's get a pullback to that 50 SMA again. But the structure is suggesting up is way more likely next. We talked about this yesterday too. We've had this each time, this initial impulse accumulation, then breakout. The initial impulse, pullback, accumulation, breakout. And this is on the MVRVZ score. So we're seeing this as a relationship of the Bitcoin price, the movement of it in relationship to the realized price. And so we did get a little bit of an overheated zone here. We had the pullback. Is this next? What happened on this? Okay, boom, up. What happened on this? Okay, boom, up. What happened? Everybody. When you see this expanding to the upside, this is showing the huge amount of interest in Bitcoin, the buying pressure coming in, because it's supporting an expansion of the Bitcoin price away, moving away from the realized price, showing that there's a lot of demand in that market. Again, Chris Pfaff, always great comments. Patience, something that best moves, the best moves you can make are waiting for price action to develop. Shout out there. Now, continuing on, we got 444 people in the room. How many of you have hit the like button right now? It shows we've only about 60 people. Hit that like. If you're watching on Twitter, by the way, again, shouting out every single one of you that shows love every day, coming over to my page, slide down, hit that retweet button, hit that like button. We do giveaways each week. Sometimes we do a couple. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's merchandise. Sometimes it's cold storage wallets. So big love to everybody that's showing love. And make sure you hit that like button. Bookmark it if you want. It actually bookmarks, just so you know. If you do like somebody you want to show support on Twitter, when you hit the bookmark, even if you never use bookmarks give the most to that algorithm there. So show some love on that. Now, continuing where we are at, let's close that out. We talked about this yesterday as well. When Bitcoin pushes up above the center line, this is a fair value band. Once it finds support on it, that is the base for the parabola, okay? Breakout, support, base for the parabola, okay? What we got? We broke out, but we didn't find support. There was two factors there. Just because it's broke out doesn't mean you ape in. This was also way pre-cycle. But look at this. Breakout, actually suppressed right at it, but breakout, support, parabola. Okay, we broke out. We've come back. We're riding support. What do you think is next? Now, altcoins. Altcoins are, whether or not you like to believe it, even if you hold 0 Bitcoin, you need to focus on what Bitcoin is doing at this stage in the market so that you understand where the risk narrative is in the altcoin market. It hasn't started yet because Bitcoin's dominance has still been pushing up, but we see we are in a very similar structure here. So we have this roundingness, flat bottom, breakout, roundingness, flat bottom. Guys, we also at the same time had large bullish divergence or large increase in the strength of the bulls. Now, what do we see here? Increase in the strength of the bulls and a breakout of this zone right here. See this? The signals, I cannot believe how the concert of bullishness that we're seeing in this market with the underlying data and the amount of people that I still see fearful. In fact, I don't want to call him out. I don't mean this in a negative way. I really like the guy. I do like the guy, but this, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. That's not the correct one. Let me see. How do you spell it? This is not him. Come on. Crypto savvy. Let me see. I can't find it. He's just got posts that are still calling for, I'm talking a major, major pullback. He's been thinking that this was going to break down for, I can't even tell you how long. Is this a crypto savvy one? Here we go. This is the guy. So he's still calling for this Amazon bubble, .com bubble crash. He's thinking, look at this. This is a target down to $4,000. Out of your mind. Now, this is 1 hour ago he posted this. Also, and you know what? Maybe he'll be right. I just do not see that level of bearishness. What will Bitcoin do here? No, right here. Haven't seen anything but lower highs and lower lows for 7. I mean, the bearishness, it blows my mind right now on the market. Now, can we get a pretty big pullback? Sure. But the level of bull signals versus bear signals is just astounding right now. And then also, I do want to shout out Mr. The Real Plan C. He put together this tweet, the definitive list. Great resource for all of you. I'm going to share this post in the live stream right here. Make sure I'm going to post it on the boom right here. Where's my page? And again, I wasn't calling out crypto. I like the guy. I'm going to post this right here just so you guys can all see this. Also, make sure you go over to that post. And there's such a great list, almost comprehensive, that he put together of the top 50 Bitcoin analysts to follow, basically currently. And go and follow these folks. Here we go. So he's got, I don't want to go through all this, but go through this. There's so many people listed here. When you go down, and I recommend you all, follow them. Put the notifications on for them. But also, I just want to point out when you get down to this one right here, there's way more. This is at Almez, is Kush, but Alem Zida. When you get down to this one, click show replies and you'll see a continuation. He's got me. I'm so honored that he listed me in here. But there's everybody on here. Make sure you go and give them a follow. You're going to get such a comprehensive broad view. And some of these people disagree on certain things. And that's one of the things I love about Plan C is he didn't just put people that all say the same thing. There's different people with different ideas and different mechanisms from TD sequential to on-chain data to power law to price analysis. There's so many different people. There's 50 different people. Make sure you follow. You don't have to follow every one of them, but follow a good number of those. But make sure you expand that where I said show replies. When you see that, make sure you see the rest of the list. So shout out again to The Real Plan C. Make sure, most importantly, that you follow him at The Real Plan C. Great on-chain analysts on there. Now, when we're looking, let's get a little update here. What's going on? 12-hour chart. Okay, we're still riding just above this liquidity. Let's get down 48 hours. Let's look at what's going on. All this liquidity above us, but we're sitting right on top of this magnet. I do think we will still continue to push down a little bit and touch into the lower 65,000, 65,200, so on and so forth. I do also want to shout out Quentin Francis, or Francois here, says, remember, 13 days before I do think there's still a little bit of uncertainty, especially in crypto, not so much in S&P 500, but maybe a little bit, mostly in crypto, regarding what direction this is going to go. I think it might even not only take till November 5th, it might take until November 6th, 7th, 8th, depending on how fast they can go through and catalog and do all the tallying of all the, getting the full confirmation. Excuse me. But we're also 70 days before the end of 2025. As bullish as we could be towards the end of October through November, do remember going into the end of December, we still have to consider there's always a tax issue at the end of the year, especially for big money institutions, corporations, basically clearing out their sort of books and also harvesting profits or loss, or setting themselves up, and that tends to need to happen by the end of basically December 31st. So we tend to get some questionability or uncertainty in markets around that time. So even if we get a big push up in November, December, I do expect there will be at least some chop, if not a little bit of a pullback, going into the very beginning of the year. But I think 2025 is going to be so ultra bullish. Jake Mueller, what's up? Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thanks for being here. I'm so happy I can see people's comments from Twitter too. I didn't know that. If you're watching live on Twitter, throw a 1 in chat. Throw a 1 in I don't know if it's in a comment or what, but I can see your post. So make sure you're engaging and showing some love. And shout out to everybody that's here on a daily basis. Bad Fox, Tater, Nathan Martin, Bill Brower. So many people in here. New World Disorder. I think a newer person here, or you're just, I'm just now starting to see your post. Chris Pfaff, so many people. We got some more stuff to share though. So end of 2025, we need to be paying attention to a little bit of chop at the end of at that point. But also, this is interesting, 54 days before the new FASB accounting rules after December 15th, 2024. Interesting that this is lining up 15 days before the end of the year. For those of you that don't know, one of the barriers or hurdles to entry for big money from institutions and corporations, and I'm not talking about the Bitcoin spot ETFs, I'm talking about buying Bitcoin from open market, holding it, because having their own custody of Bitcoin. There's been a major barrier, and that is the lack of having the FASB accounting rules, the fair value accounting. What that means is, if a corporation bought Bitcoin on December 2nd, and the next day the price dropped 10%, and the day after that it pumped 20%, and the rest of the year they were positive in the green massively, up 1,000%, but they're holding and they haven't sold anything yet. The structure before these FASB accounting rules go into action, because they were at some point unrealized losses, they had to show that they were at a loss, even though they might be up 1,000% if they hadn't taken any profits yet. So it was very uninteresting. And in fact, it was probably, as I said, a hurdle for a lot of institutions, because it really would mess up what their cash flow would look like on their quarterly earnings reports, especially if they're end of year reports, because they had to only show if they had an unrealized loss ever. It's the stupidest fucking nonsense I've ever seen ever. And thank God that they got it through their thick skulls to get this basically listed, similar to how stocks have been for but for decades. So this is going to be a positive, fundamental change, evolution in the crypto space. Now, will we start seeing more flows of institutions and large corporations and so on and so forth here in the U.S. buying actual Bitcoin as well as the spot ETFs? We'll have to see, because now they got the spot ETF. So it'll be interesting to see into the next year how this plays out. So getting back over to what's going on in the market, I also wanted to show, I got that. Let's go ahead and look at a couple other things. Look at this. We're slicing through our box. So does this scare us? No, we've got this level right here, 65.5, which is a level we've been talking about. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. It's this point to this point. Project it out. Let's go, in fact, go ahead and do it. Go to Ray right here. Put your mouse right there. Click on it. Now, move your mouse. And what I'm doing is, let me delete that. Let me turn off all the lines and, let me turn off all the indicators. There we go. Now what we're doing here is we're putting our mouse right onto this next top, right? Boom, onto this next top. So that projects the line out. You see how this just projects it out so you don't have to figure it out? There you go. Right on that top. Yeah. So what we're seeing is the price action is now basically coming down into this 65 to low 65 region, 65.5 to low. This is a region I'm looking for because it looks like we're going to be slicing through this. And if we lose this level, then 64 is going to be our next opportunity zone. There's nothing to worry about at the moment, especially if you have a longer term purview, a longer term look on the market. Getting into a couple other things on, Avalanche has just been, the fundamentals are getting stronger and stronger. What did we talk about here? We had the symmetrical triangle. Okay, we broke out of it. Does this mean, do I think we're going to get this measured move? This is this measured move right here. Do I think we're going to get this measured move down here to 21? I don't think we'll get it, but I'm aware it's there. So I have to put a box right in that zone. And we're going to say, okay, we're going to keep an eye on this. The reason I don't think we're going to get it is because we also have this rising channel here, which is a bearish formation. But we have this level right here. I'm watching right in this zone. We have a intersection of two, a rising level of support and a horizontal level of support from previous resistance. So I'm watching 25.68. If we lose that, then the next level down we're looking at is 24.15. I'm looking for opportunities every level down on the assets that I believe in to be able to stack as much as possible before these markets just absolutely rip to the upside. Will we get a black swan event? Will we get a mass washout to the downside? It's possible. You see what's going on with China and Iran and Israel and Ukraine and Russia. In some ways, it feels like they're trying to push it to the point of doing some of those things that they talk about, like depopulation, all that. Maybe that's their intention. If that's the case, where they have something where they push something to a nuclear event, then yes, Bitcoin and the altcoins are going to dump. But you know what also is going to dump? Every asset you can invest in. So that's kind of an irrelevant thing to think about at the moment. You need to protect yourself in whatever way works best for your asset allocation, your portfolio, your time horizon, what you're doing. I know that right now for my positions, for my coins that I'm holding, I'm looking into October 2025, and I will adjust accordingly along the way. If we get dips in these moments before this absolute rippage to the upside, I'm going to take them. Link. Also, oh my God, dumping. Well, we're still in this sideways chop range. But things are looking so bullish. Ondo, oh my God, it's breaking down. Okay, well, look at the range. It's still within this range. But we have the rising channel we drew a couple days ago. Look, okay, it broke to the downside. We had this box already outlined. We already were aware of it, everybody. What else do we see? Cardano. Oh my God, it's breaking down. Well, is it? When you're looking at it in a range, it's just still within the range. Home on the range. Right? So if we lose that, then I'm looking for somewhere down in this lower 30s. If you're looking at Render, which I picked up some Render yesterday and some Chainlink. Does it bother me that it's dipped more? No, because I've told you all, and I shared this in the Discord, I made some changes in here. I actually, not changes, well, I added to Chainlink. I got I think almost 200 Chainlink, and I got another, I can't remember how many. Let's go ahead and look in the Discord. This is, by the way, in the Discord, link that's next, basically right over there. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Remember, you have to put /deal, and you get 15 days free as well as 33 or something % off for life. Coming over here, let's go to Kelly Alpha. Boom. sharing some stuff. I mean, I've been sharing some stuff with you guys. Some of you guys aren't checking it anymore because I had some other stuff and I wasn't posting on a daily basis for like a week or two. But there's so many different people that post just nonstop content in here. I mean, come on. It's just, come on, get in there, get active. We need to do this together. Post questions, post thoughts, post so much. But so I bought 459 render yesterday, and I bought 199 link, 199.9. And I also forgot to mention to you guys, I may or may not have, I added Moonwell. I added some Moonwell in there. And so when we look at this, okay, Chainlink's down a little bit, but Chainlink's was down about 30% from where we bought at. We lowered our average entry. Same thing with render. But this was just below where we had originally bought back in February or whatever. Added to this position. We also added Moonwell, but check it out. Moonwell's up since I bought it. Great smaller market play, DeFi play on the base chain. Remember how much Arrow's doing so great. Coinbase is doing wrapped Bitcoin on base. Aerodrone's going to be processing those transactions. Excuse me. But also, Constellation DAG up massively. Let's go here to the hourly. Had this large pop, boom, 33%. They have their own conference tomorrow, high def, and they're talking. They got Panasonic there and Digital Chamber. Digital Chamber is going to be there. It's so many. They're going to be making some big announcements. I have no idea what they are. We were partnered with them for quite some time. I just love what they do. We're no longer partners as it stands right now, but I stacked into this because I believe what they're doing. And so there's so many opportunities right now. And when we come over here and we look at DAG, I've been talking about this for some time. Come out here to the 8 hour. Let's actually go to the daily. This is forming a base. Came up a little bit higher low. And look at where this, I have not changed. I have not looked at the T on this in a few weeks. Look at where this came up and rejected at. Right at the line that we've had drawn here for some time. From this point to this point, gave us that rejection. So if we do bounce through push through this, the next level up is going to be up here at 4.1 cents. And then, pushing up here to the 50 cents, pushing up here to 9.2 cents. And the number of partnerships, remember, DAG has U.S. Air Force, U.S. Space Force. They're integrated on the International Space Station, the FBI, the Department of Defense. And this was all in the background before they were rolling out to retail. So this is a tried and true. Could they have issues? Sure, but they've already been vetted by the Department of Defense. It's digital security of data and transaction of data on a directed acyclic graph that's basically infinitely scalable. This is one of those ones I do think is a great gem in this market. So make sure you pay attention to it. Solana also, look at this. Solana kind of breaking out of this falling channel, which is a bullish channel, broke out. And then we also had this rising level of support, flat level of resistance. These tend to break to the upside also. It's currently sitting here. I do expect this will likely pull back. I'd be looking at 158. If we drop below that, I'd be looking down here at 146. But I do think Solana is still going to be doing incredibly in this market. Fetch. Man, look at this beautiful inverted head and shoulders. This is the target out of that. Currently, this broke out, and it's kind of bouncing on this previous neckline. If we lose this, I do think this may basically invalidate this inverted head and shoulders, come down a little bit more. But they're also rolling out some big news about some of the developments they got. But guys, gals, countrymen, friends, don't know what I'm coughing. Big love to each and every one of you that's been here throughout the stream. We had 5 gifted memberships from Falco. Shout out. But look at this. Tau, before we go. Rising wedge tends to break bearish. Currently, we have broken bearish, but we're holding on this support level. If we lose this, I'm looking down here to 474. Will we get another opportunity down here at 420, 425? And if things really spill in the market, then I'm going to be looking for price action, which I think would be a dream buy opportunity down here in the 350s. Does that mean I'm not bullish on Tau? No, I'm super bullish on Tau. If I get an opportunity down here, I am going to jump for joy at it. This does not upset me that I'm in it. Remember, Tau's the best performing asset that we have in this shared. This is a shared altcoin portfolio we've been building with you guys, up 60%. So, our average buy was 325. Where's that? Boom, 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 boom. Where do we go? 325. So this would basically we'd still be above our buy if this came down. So the market is ripe right now. Don't fall for the FUD with all this bear trap narrative that's happening right now. Take advantage of the opportunities while you got them. Have a long-term time vision of what's going on. If you want to trade, set a small allocation of your portfolio aside. Get involved with us. There's a link is right there below the video. It's also pinned in the top of the live chat. Free traders group right here. We break it down. We got the whole education side of this that you're going to get free if you are signed up through CoinW. The link to join in is right here. It's in Telegram. Get involved, and also make sure you sign up for nordvpn.com/BitLab to make sure you can protect your digital self and not get hacked and at least severely limit those chances. Also, remember, places like Turkey, they just got banned from using Discord. Well, if you have a VPN, you can set your location anywhere. Yeah, I can set my location right now in Brazil. I can set my location right now in Lithuania. It doesn't matter. I can set my virtual private network wherever I want. Super easy. It's like $2 a month, $3 a month, something like that. But you also get 4 months free if you sign up through that link, and that's nordvpn.com/BitLab. But today, that's all I got for you. I got some family in town. I have to go and show them around the studio here in a second and then have some lunch with them. And then I'll be back to doing some content. But we got some member streams later this week. Get involved. I love you all. We're going to head over to the blockchain basement now. Right now, let's head over to blockchain basement, drop 3 lab coats, and say BitLab busting in. Let's go. Or say BitLab bulls busting in. Say that in the live chat. We can go spam their live chat with some support and some love there. We're going to do it. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos. Over now.